Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. This is Pradeep, Ambassador of Change from GETI, the Global Education and Training Institute of Lucknow, and you are on our disruptive education platform provided to us by our mentor, Dr. Sunita Gandhi, to whom we are extremely thankful. Because of this platform, we are able to meet with educators from India and all over the world, and we've had more than 700 such sessions so far. Today we have with us Dr. Veeramani. He's Assistant Professor, Government Arts College, Karur, Tamil Nadu. He is an alumnus of St. Joseph's College, Trichy, from where he's done his MA, his BA, his MA, his MPhil, and his PhD. He has 15 years experience since 2006 from his alma mater. He started from his alma mater as assistant professor of English, and then he went to the Arikanar Anna Government Arts College. Since 2017, he is at the Government Arts College in Kalithalai, where he also coordinates for the IQAC and the NIRF and soft skills. He has published a host of articles in national and international journals. He published the rudiments of English communication and Lalakya Kodukal literary theories in Tamil, showing his expertise both in English as well as Tamil. During the COVID lockdown, he organized 50 events for various institutions, including 11 webinars. He is reviewer, editor, and member of professional bodies like the International Association of Scientific Innovation and Research of the USA, the Literary Herald, the ICLALS, and the IJARS. He received the Kanavu Nayagan Abdul Kalam Award, also the Sangha Tamizar Award, and as well as Best Research Paper Publisher, etc. So he will be speaking to us today on student suicides. What are the deep-rooted problems? Very gripping, a very with it topic that we must all listen to very carefully, and thank Dr. Veeramani for his research on it. So over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much for having introduced me with a lot of information. Thank you very much, sir. And first of all, I have to thank the Global Education Training Institute, which is conducting more than 700 training programs across the globe. And I have to thank personally Mr. Pradeep Mall for having invited me to give my presentation on student suicide. What are the deep-rooted problems today? And this is very much a need of the hour today. This is the problem which students face. Not only the students face, but also the other people also face that kind of same problem in the society. So now I would like to share my screen. I think you are able to see my screen. That is the presentation. First of all, I would like to give my acknowledgement and thankful to the following net sources for which helped me in preparation of this topic. Actually, suicide is yeah, very much, it is a dangerous threatening to the society, especially among the students. And actually, what do you mean by suicide is it is an offensive act. It is a punishable act according to the Indian Penal Code, Section 309, it shows that it is a offensive and punishable act, so that we should not take one's life. Okay, so that's the point I would like to tell you in the beginning itself. Emile Durkheim, he is a French sociologist. What he says about the act of suicide is it is the crudest expression of a social phenomenon, and also it's a public health concern and growing one among the younger. Actually, it is a public problem today. Suicide, committing suicide is a public problem, and it is a problem to the family, it is a problem to the college and school where he studies and so on. No? It is a very much a dangerous one. So it is, since I am a teacher of English language and literature, and Dr. Mr. Pradeep Mal, he is also running that institution that is a global education. He has also that kind of a duty and responsibility to save a person's life. Okay, so that's why we have decided to give one more presentation on students' suicide and how to avoid that, and what are the deep-rooted problems of students' suicide and so on. Okay, and here I would like to cite a reference from the Hindu newspaper, which was published in January 29 and 2020. What it does, it say is 28 lives are lost every day. Okay, you see that 28 lives, 28 lives. It's not a merely a very meager amount like one or two. Okay, that is we find that only 28, 28 students' lives are lost every day because of the act of suicide. Mr. Sanjeev Alam, he is a faculty member in the Center for the Study of Developing Societies, New Delhi. What he says about the students' suicide is a student commit suicide when he doesn't get emotional support at the time of crisis. When a person, when a student, when he studies his school or in his school or in his college, if he is not able to get the emotional support, automatically he is forced to commit that kind of a suicide act. So it happens. It happens in many colleges, in many universities, in many schools, and so on. And what he says again, it is a parental peer pressure also have an adverse effect. Actually, parental, what should I say? The parenting is also revamped today. The students are not able to fulfill the desire of the parents. Because of that failure, a student is going to commit that kind of act. Okay, so this is the statement given by Sanjeev Alam. Okay, another professor says, A.K. Joshi, he is also professor and head of the Department of Sociology from the University of, that is Banaras Hindu University. What he stated is academic stress and supportless and their parents' roles. They wanted to, students wanted to fulfill the parents' role and so on. And then academic stress is also parents' roles in the sense, what I mean is they wanted to force the students, I mean their daughters or sons, to achieve something greater. It may be the cause. Okay, it may be the cause because of the forcing. Okay, but what I am going to tell you, all these things about suicide is not that this is the reason, that is the cause like that, but it may be one of the causes. Okay, because we find number of causes for students suicide and so on. Okay, so that's the problem today. Number of causes are there. So that will be the greatest problem today, because we could not find out this is the problem and that is the problem. So I have listed out some of the problems which we can regularize and we can avoid and we can orient the students' young mind. Okay. And what he said is, Mr. A.K. Joshi said that students are left without any choice. Well, only then they go to the extreme step. Okay, that extreme step is committing suicide. And Pradeep Kumar Shah, he is a director of Institute of Psychiatry, Kolkata. What he said is, fear of failure is also a leading cause for committing suicide. Fear of failure. Why do you failure? Why does a student of, feel failure? Why does a student feel fear? Nothing is going to happen when when a student fears. Okay, so that kind of emotional stability we have to inflict upon the student's young mind. Okay, so that's the thing. And then what he says is pessimistic attitude after failure, after reaching many failures and failures in examination, failures in their achievement, failures in their checking process, everything automatically he is forced to feel pessimistic attitude. That pessimistic attitude can lead the person to commit suicide. So that's why what we say is, and what does the Mr. Pradeep Kumar Shah say is, fear of failure is a leading cause. We should not have that kind of fear of a failure, whatever it may happen. Okay, we should not feel that failure or the fear. And I have taken this report from NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau. Actually, these 4 years I would like to take to present the suicidal case, okay, for over the 4 years. This graph definitely will show you clearly about the students' suicide. In 2016, you find that in 2016, 9,478 cases were registered, the students committing suicide. In 2017, 9,005 cases were registered. And you just think that in 2018, 10,159 cases were reported. You just see that. And another thing is in 2019, 10,335 students committed suicide. You see that. Why do students commit suicide? Each and every life given by God is precious. Everybody is gifted with the talents, skills, knowledge, and everything. So we have to identify our talents, our skills, our very good behavior, very good attitude. It is the role of student. It is the role of teacher. It is the role of to identify the students' talents, skills, knowledge, and especially for the constructive purpose. It is the duty of a teacher. It's a duty of professor. It is a duty of parents. It is a duty of social activists, okay, social thinkers, and educational sectors. Okay, so that's the thing I would like to tell you. And then one student committed suicide every hour. You find that. In 2012, Lancet report says students between the age group of 15 to 29, they committed suicide. And among men, 40 percentage of students commit suicide between the age group of 15 to 29, and 60% of women students, I mean girl students, they tried and they achieved committing suicide. So women are achieved in this suicide, but whereas men, they change their mood from one attempt to another attempt. Okay, in that case, I tell you that women are excelling men in that act in the sense committing suicide. And it is a contagious effect. Yes. Is it a contagious effect? Definitely, it has a contagious effect. Suicide on suicide, which means if a person comes to know another person's death, and automatically it will uh, give that kind of a contagious effect. Say, for example, if you happen to view or watch any act that is committing suicide on movies, on episodes, on pictures, or related other materials, and so on. So that will lead a person. It may, I mean, what I tell you is it may, because it is stored in our mind. That act is stored in our mind. That's why it is my duty to advise the parents when you are along with your children, when you see a picture or episode or movie in which you find the act of committing suicide, you should not allow your students, I mean allow your children, sons and daughters to watch that, because it has a contagious effect. Okay, so that's the point I would like to tell you. And then it is a psychological cause. Depression is also mental health disorder. Actually, the psychological cause is nothing but there will be a chemical imbalances in the brain. It may lead to that kind of act. The mental health disorder, it may be sometimes depression, anxiety, and other chemical imbalances in the brain. Especially, we can call that this is the schizophrenia. Yes, you find that this is the schizophrenia. This is the psychological issues. Psychological issues, you will find that. And after that, causes for student suicide. And today's scenario, we cannot, what should I say, be without using mobile phones and other electronic gadgets today. But we have to reduce the use of mobile phones. Okay, we have to reduce the use of mobile phones. We have to teach the students. We have to teach the our daughters and sons. And this mobile phone is only for the constructive purpose. This is only for the academic purpose, not for any other purpose, and so on. We have to teach them. We have to follow them. We have to watch them. So it is the duty of a parent. It is a duty of a teacher. It is a duty of a professor. It is a duty of the social activists. Okay, it is a duty of institution, and so on. And some students, they are addicted to play video games. Okay, when they are not able to play video games, it is because of data poor connectivity, net poor connectivity, or any other problems. They automatically feel distress. They feel stressed. Okay, they feel anxiety, and then this anxiety may lead to psychological cause. This psychological cause can lead to that kind of act. Okay, and another cause is financial instability. Financial instability, we find some students, they may not have the enough money to pay their education fees, school fees, college fees, institutional fees, so other students can pay. So this kind of a social changes and social stigma, this kind of a social stigma happens among the students. So it will lead the student to commit that act. Okay, so it may be the cause. The economic crisis, the financial instability may cause. And another thing is the social changes. Social changes and this modern life, I would like to combine these two things: social changes and this modern life. If a person who is accustomed to the rural life and the traditional life, if he goes to city, if he goes to town to learn or for further studies, no, like higher education, he or she may find it very difficult to adapt the what should I say, the situation, adapt the what should I say, the behavior of city students. Okay, so that kind of customs, okay, that kind of practices that are very, very difficult for the students, those who are from a rural background. Okay, so this may lead the one of the causes. Okay, this may lead one of the causes because they feel somewhat the inferiority complex because he is not able to adapt that kind of situation, that kind of scenario. So that's why this may lead to that kind of act. Okay, and then academic pressure may be the cause. Academic pressure may be the cause in the sense, if classroom or if teaching process, teaching methodology is dull and bore, at the same time it is a very, very pressurized one, it may lead, okay, it may lead that kind of act. And emotional imbalances and the emotional resources, that's why I tell you earlier that a student must know and must get the training how to face their emotional imbalances. Okay, emotional imbalances are the primary cause for the students suicide. Okay, emotional imbalances. So that's why we educators must train the students how to face the emotional imbalances and so on. And then traditional family system, today we do not have that kind of a traditional family system because in the age of urbanization, in the age of modernization, in the age of cyber, okay, we lose the traditional family system. Because of the traditional family system, a student is not able to meet his or her grandpa, grandma, okay, his uncle, sisters, brothers, and nephew, and all other relatives. If there are a number of people at a home, definitely they will ask, what happens to you today? If a student comes to home after completing his school hours or college hours with a sad, with the mood of sad, definitely your parents or definitely your brothers, sisters, or relatives will ask the same question, that is, what happens to you? So there will be a space for sharing. There will be a space for sharing. But today we lack that traditional family system. It may be the cause. Okay, it may be the cause for that committing suicide. And then premarital sex. Okay, premarital sex, it may be the reason. Okay, some students, girl students, may not express this one. It is because of the threatening may from outsource. Okay, the other person. Okay, so this will be the major cause, premarital sex. Maybe the prime, I mean, the very important cause also. And then previous suicidal attempts. Sometimes, if a student tries to commit suicide, the parents must bring that particular person to the psychiatrist. Many parents did not do that kind of thing because in today's scenario, in cyber age, we people think that going to psychiatrist is a taboo, going to psychiatrist is offensive, going to psychiatrist is not a good one. We people think that kind of wrong notion. But as an educator of a 21st century, I tell you, if a person, if a student tries to commit that act, please take that person to the psychiatrist and give medication to him. Definitely he or she will be do greater in the society. Okay, and then another history is I mean point is the family history of a suicide. Okay, the family history of a suicide is also the reason, because I told you earlier, no, it is a contagious effect. Suicide is a contagious effect. So that kind of effect may be the reason. And then lack of job security. Some students, when they are doing their BSc, MSc, BCom, or else you undergraduate or else postgraduate, they feel that how I am going to have a job, sir? Am I able to get job? Am I able to get a government job? Am I able to get a good job with the decent salary? That kind of a fear, that fear is taking place even when they are doing their education itself. So at the time of doing their education, they foresee the life in future, their life in future. The life may be destroyed. They think like that. The fear. The fear is also leading, yeah, leading cause for the act. Okay, so this is also one of the reasons for students' suicide and regular abuse of sexual and sexual harassment. Sexual harassment, as I told you earlier, that is the premarital sex, and then sexual harassment is also one of the reasons, one of the major reasons today. One of the major reasons today is sexual harassments. That's why we have to watch the behavior of girl students at home, at colleges, at schools, at the educational institutions. Okay, so it's our duty. What I tell you is, sir, it's not my duty. Don't say like that. It's our duty. Okay, and then continuous medical illness. Another point that I would like to tell you is the continuous medical illness. The continuous medical illness in the sense, one day or other day, the same person is suffering from that continuous medical illness. He feels, why should we live? What is the purpose of my creation? Okay, by God. What is the reason? He or she may think like that. So that's why I tell you, medical illness is not, what should I say? It is not that very dangerous one. It can be rectified. It can be rectified in today's scenario, in the 21st century, in the internet age, in the cyber age. We find a number of improved medications, number of improved medications. So students should not be afraid of the continuous medical illness in their life. And then discrimination. Discrimination is also one of the causes. Discrimination. A student may be discriminated by his appearance among his peers. A student may be discriminated by his religion, by his caste, by his way of speaking English, by the way of speaking his language, the way of his behavior, okay, the way he dresses, and then his status. These causes may be there, these factors may be there to discriminate a person. So it may be the cause for the students uh, that act. Okay, and then continuous failures in various exams. Continuous failures. We need not to worry about that. The continuous fails. The students, I'll tell you, those who are listening to me right now, or those who are watching me, I will tell you that it is not that a failure. It is a stepping stone. I tell you. Abraham Lincoln, he is he has suffered like anything. He has suffered like anything. He was a man who was suffering the nervous ailments, okay, nervous problems, and many phases. In many phases, he failed, okay, but he became president of America. How is it possible for him? We can ask this question. But we professors must instill the encouragement among the students, among the young minds. Okay, young minds, they are going to create today's, I mean, tomorrow's world, tomorrow's the future. So we have to save the life of students. Okay, and then love failures. Another cause is love failure. It is actually, it has become a fancy today. It has become a fancy. If a person gets love failure, the automatically he goes to commit suicide because of the wrong leading by movies. Okay, the wrong leading, that wrong leading that comes from movies, that comes from media, that comes from other social medias. What else if you find a person, if a student finds a love failure, if he faces love failure, what else going to achieve? Nothing else. Okay, so everything is a passing cloud. Everything is a passing cloud. We have to take everything as a sporty one. Okay, everything is a sporty one in today's scenario, in the jam-packed technological world. Okay, so students must leave that kind of attitude. If a student fails in his love, don't lose your life. There will be an yet another life. That life is also going to be given by God. That life is better than the previous one. And then another thing is unemployment. That is, I would like to connect this lack of job security with the unemployment. Okay, unemployment is also one of the reasons, one of the causes for that act. We find number of job opportunities. Don't have that kind of a preconceived job, preconceived notion that I'm going to this, I'm going to that, like that. If you are not able to get it, just switch over to another thing. Because of your suicide, because of committing suicide, the world cannot destroy. I tell you, the world cannot be destroyed. Okay, the world cannot be demolished, but the world will run as it is. The world will go. It will go forward. Today is the 24th. Tomorrow is 25th. The days are going, the minutes are going, the seconds are going. Then that's why I tell you that unemployment is also one of the reasons. Don't think that unemployment is the final cause for committing suicide. Another job is also there. You become a master, you become a profession, you become a job provider. Don't think that you are going to work under a person. This is my advice to the students. And the loneliness, as I told you, the family, that is that the traditional family structure is lost now. Because of that traditional family structure is lost, a student finds his loneliness. So it may be the cause. And college environment or school environment or institutional environment, if some students are not able to cope with the new environment in college, new environment in school, it may be the cause. Okay, it may be the cause. And other causes, we find that I told you earlier, that is the unbearable emphasis upon marks. Students are very much uh, centered upon marks. Marks are not going to do. Okay, for your job security, you can score a decent mark. If you are not able to score decent marks, don't lose your life. Why do you lose your life? You find your skills, you find your knowledge, you channelize your knowledge and skills into some other business and become a great personality. So that's the point I would like to take. Another thing is mental illness are still a taboo subject. Still a taboo subject in the sense, if a person goes to mental, psychiatrist, no, psychiatrist, mental hospital, tells the psychiatrist, the society will think in a different manner. Okay, society will say that this person is that. He is termed like that. He is labeled as so and so. But this kind of social structure must be changed in today's scenario. And then competition and comparison between students. We have to uh, avoid this kind of a comparison among the students. He does well, you do not know anything about. She does well, okay, she does well, and you do not know, and this person is unfit to study. These kinds of negative terms must be abolished in the classrooms. These kinds of negative terms and negative words must be abolished, must be eradicated in the classrooms by the professors and teachers and school teachers and educators. And lack of importance of mental health, as I told you now, that is another thing is mechanical lifestyle. Mechanical lifestyle may lead uh, this kind of act. And identifying symptoms. How do you identify that a person is uh, not well, he is distressed, and he may commit, okay, not he will, but he may commit that kind of act. Why? How do you identify? Identifying symptoms are detachment. The first one is you find that the detachment from his friends and family. Detachment, sudden detachment will be there. If a person, if a student, faces this sudden detachment from his friends and family, he is mentally stressed. It is understood that he is mentally stressed. Okay, so we need to take care of them. And then uninterest in pleasurable previous activities. In previous activities, if a student is very much interested in the same activity, if he wants to do it with uninterest mode, there will be a change. There will be a change in the pleasurable activities. Okay, because of the person's uninterest. Previously, he would have very interested in, but right now, after getting some distress, okay, he may not give his own interest in the pleasurable activities. And then difficulty in concentration, okay, concentrating on schoolwork or college work, and negligence of presenting himself in the sense he is unable to present himself in a social gathering. He is detached from the social gathering. Why does he do? Everyone is a person, all are human beings. Nobody is going to beat or nobody is going to do anything else. Just we can go and mix with the people in a social gathering. But many students, they are not going to present themselves in the social gathering. So it may be the symptom that he is in distress, that he is in anxiety, he is in a stressful manner. Okay, he is not normal one. He is facing the abnormality. Okay, like that. And another thing is normal personality. There will be a changes in normal personality. And another very important thing is eating disorder. If a student faces the eating disorder, the parents should take care of that particular person, the particular student, or else immediately he has to go to the hospital. The parents must take the student to the hospital, to the psychiatrist to consult. Why does he do like this? What is the problem? Because he is not able to eat like properly, like that. Eating disorder and sleep disorder. Okay, sleep disorder. You find that some students, they may not sleep properly, they may not sleep properly, they will not have that deep sleep, the sound sleep during night. Okay, so that is this indication. That's the indication he is suffering from some sort of a mental health, ill health, like that. Okay, mental ill health, I mean. And loss of enthusiasm. The loss of enthusiasm, I would like to combine with this one, uninterest in pleasurable activities. Uninterest in pleasurable activities. And rebellious, and he wants to run away, he wants to escape from a social gathering. Okay, rebellious action. The words are very what should I say, rebellious one. And some students, they are addicted to drinks. These may be the causes. These may be the causes for students suicide. These may be the reasons for students committing suicide and so on. Sir, how do you I mean, how to save a student's life, how to uh, train the students, and what are the action plans, what are the action plans, and what are the things, what are the steps can be taken to avoid such a problem, such a dangerous problem, okay, in the society. Because a life is a human being. A human being is a life. Okay. So I am also a human being. I have my life. A student is also a human being. A student has his life. Okay. So it is the very important topic to be discussed today's scenario among the professors, among the students, among the teachers, among the parents, and so on. So how to overcome these issues? University Grants Commission (UGC) has told all the institutions, especially universities and colleges, to um, have a certified psychologist. This person, the certified psychologist, can give the counseling to the students and educating emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Because of the lack of emotional intelligence, only students are going to commit suicide. How to have their emotion as an intelligence. Okay. And sharing with the peer people, it's very, 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 very important one. If a student is distressed, if a student is in anxiety, he has to share with his peers, he has to share with his family members, he has to share with his teachers. Teachers may act as psychological counselors. If a person is not able to share anything, it will be stored in our heart, in our mind. Okay, like a strata, it will be stored. One day or other, it will outburst. That's why I tell all the educators and parents, you just watch your sons and daughters, especially between the age group of 15 to 29. Okay, 15 to 29, how do they behave? What are their problems? Are they in depression? Are they in distress? Are they in stress mood? You just go and speak with them. Nothing is going to be very, very dangerous one. Okay, it's very easy. The thing is just you go and share with the kind words. Sharing with the kind words. And meeting a psychological counselor is also we can help the students, okay, by meeting the psychological counselor we can help the students. And then uh, teacher and the college teacher and a school teacher can act as a psychological counselor. And students must consider their parents as friends. Actually, that is where we find a problem. The student will not consider their parents as friends. Okay. At the same time, parents should consider their sons and daughters as their friends. Both the things must be in an equal manner. Okay. And then we have to watch the behavior of students, sons and daughters, and their behavior. If there is any changes, if there is any change in this, immediately we have to interfere with the kind words and we have to save their life. Okay. And then avoid watching violence related issues on television and social media. It may lead, okay, as I told you earlier, it is a contagious effect. And then it is we have to educate the students that mobile phone is only for academic purpose and constructive purposes and so on. And especially this is a very, very threatening one, that is playing online games. Playing online games, it will affect a person's health, mental health, and physical health, and especially the eye health. Okay, so it is the duty of parents to um, orient the student, orient their sons and daughters. And as I mean, as many doctors say, as many practitioners say, involving the physical exercises and activities will be the yet another uh, yet another way to overcome that issue. Okay, and doing yoga is also one of the important ways to avoid that kind of act. And then involving in social gathering, we have to involve in social gathering. At this time it's very difficult because of this COVID-19. It is very, very difficult. After the COVID-19, okay, I mean, everything, when everything is normal, the social gathering is possible. The social gathering is possible. We can social gathering in the sense, uh, in there, I mean, among the relatives, we have to share something. Okay, every day we have to share something, what happens in my college, what happens in school. That kind of sharing is very, very essential. Okay. And another thing is, the last one is, I would like to tell you, World Suicide Prevention Day, the WSPD, that day is observed on 10th September. On this particular day, the colleges, schools, educational institutions can conduct a kind of awareness program uh, and training, okay, training for parents, training for teachers, training for students, like that. These are the ways to avoid that kind of issue. Yes. So with this, I complete my session. That is the last one is thank you. I have to thank Getty and the organizers, especially Mr. Pradeep Mal, for having given this wonderful opportunity to save the lives of students. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank you so much, sir.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much
Thank
for your
thank
very
you, sir.
knowledgeable uh, talk today on suicide, reasons for suicide, and how to prevent them. So
Prevention. Yeah.
hopefully, this is going to be something which will be watched very often on YouTube, even in the
Yes.
future. And once again, I thank Dr. Sunita Gandhi for this excellent format of disruptive education, where you meet people like Dr. S.Veeramani, who has spoken so beautifully on the aspects of suicide in India today. So, good evening, everybody, and good night. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all.